Hi guys and welcome to another Train Sim 2021 video. Today I am talking about something that's been asked about an awful lot, and I can understand why people are wanting to hear bits and pieces from it, and I will explain all. So this is a video about the AZUMA upgrade. I'm not necessarily showing you off anything you may not have seen if you've been watching the streams, but we're going to talk about what's going on with the AZUMA upgrade and why it's taking so long. If you have a look up in that corner over there, you'll see that it says work in progress, content currently unavailable. Okay, that will now be up in all my videos, fingers crossed if I remember, that have work in progress content in them, just to make things a little bit easier for you. Okay, so start from the beginning. The AZUMA upgrade started off as something small and has now spiraled and snowballed into something much bigger than we ever expected it to be. It's grown with the skill of the ATS development team. There's even some a new person on board to deal with some of the bits as well, some of the scripting stuff that we weren't that sure about. And we've got somebody else on the team. I won't say his name until he lets me, but he's incredibly good at what he does. So we're very, very pleased to have him on board with this project as well at the moment. So, fly is still in here. Where do we stand at the moment? So at the moment we have... Oh, let me turn Facebook off in the background there. We have upgraded externals, upgraded interior, blah, 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 blah. It's not completely finished. It's still massively work in progress. But we'll get going, and I'll go through my list I have got to go through. I'm not sure this is the correct number for this unit, and it's 2 5 cars together. It kind of is what it is. It's just to talk about it, really. More than even show it off. So we'll open our doors here. Let's get that done. Let's get our DRA on just because we're stopped. Let's get our lights on and let's get our headlights on. What does it go to? Full? I'm guessing full. That looks right. Okay. So, to start with, there is going to be upgraded... let me just go through the list. It'll just be easier. So, features that we are expecting to get into this are as follows. New sound set for both modes, so that's electric and diesel. Updated passenger view textures. Updated passenger view sounds. Updated cab functionality. Working speed set. Working announcements. And functional TMS. So what that realistically means is that our TMS on this side here will be functional. We'll also hopefully have the speedo on the screen, things like that. We're unsure about what we're going to be able to do with the ATP speedo at the moment because the actual Zoomers don't have that. But that's still something we're working on. I can't comment on that just yet. This is part of the reason for some of the hold-up is we've kind of become more capable of doing things as the project's gone on. So then the dev lead time has got longer. It started off as a learning experience, as a learning opportunity, hence why we haven't sort of capped it at what we want. But we're very close to doing that now and just saying, right, that is enough of what we want to get in here for this release of it. So it will be a payware release, and this will come hand in hand with a leads lines merge, something else we've been talking a lot about recently. Again, those of you that watch the streams over on Twitch will know that we have been streaming the updated version of the East Coast Mainline merge. And that has had new overhead line from, at the moment it is up to Doncaster, but for this merge, this version of the merge, it got up to York. And that's using the ATS OHLE. It's got the new Peterborough in from the Cambridge to Peterborough route, so you have all the proper platforms in at Peterborough. It's also had a significant scenery overhaul. The most overhauled section of it is the Creative Rail section. That's had an awful lot of time spent on it. I'm not going to say, and Matt would kill me if I said this because it's him that's been doing it, it's a route revamp. It's not a complete and utter overhaul, but it is a significant upgrade to the foliage, level crossings and trackside detail that's been done. So it's really, really, really phenomenally impressive actually. It looks to me, and this is very subjective, like a new route. A few people on stream said the same thing the other night as well, so I'm quite happy to say it is pretty good going. So that merge will run from King's Cross to Leeds, but you'll also have the King's Cross to York section in there as well. It will not go past York. So the next release of the updated bit of the merge is going to be this section with Leeds lines in it. There won't be a merge with, well, not at the moment, we don't envisage there being a merge all the way up to Edinburgh or Glasgow with Leeds lines in it. It's just probably not worth the stability issues that it might cause. So therefore, this pack, the AZUMA upgrade pack and the Leeds lines merge, will probably come out at around about the same time, if not at the same time. The upgraded merge will of course be subware. This pack will be payware. Price, nobody knows about that yet. Depends on how much the bits and pieces cost to get done. But we're looking to really enhance the look and feel of driving the IET series of trains. Does it include the GWR stuff and everything like that? We very kindly have the rights to use Super Elves' reskins for that. Clouds will touch them up in places that needs to be and things like that. Whether they come as a pack with the AZUMA stuff, because they've got different TMS stuff, different ATP stuff and things like that, we're unsure at the minute, is the answer to that. I'm being completely honest with you. We're just unsure at the minute. Timescale. Okay, timescale is, again, at the moment, an unknown. We started, this project was started by Max as a sound upgrade Christmas time, just before Christmas. And then because we were sort of all guns blazing on the Cambridge People route and all its little bits and pieces that come off of that, and then again all the upgrades to the missing link and the West Coast Mainline merge, all hands on deck have been on the route building side of that sort of thing, so hence the sort of delay in this. It's not been at the forefront of our minds. Also because it's been really difficult to get source for certain bits and pieces, especially sounds. With the travel ban and everything like that, there has been some significant... So what it's been is, right, somebody's going somewhere to get something, and that's been planned out, and then it hasn't been, and then it's just not been a priority to get out and get them, or nobody's had the chance to get them when they've been in certain places. So it's not necessarily that COVID's cancelled something officially or anything like that. It's just been that we just haven't had the chance, really, more than anything. And we haven't been able to then make up for that because we haven't just been able to go out and do it. So it's been tricky. It's been tricky. But the new features are exciting. I can't show you any of the new features yet properly. I can show you this. I can't show you anything else. But it is more advanced than it looks in this. In this one, we've got slightly updated crowd textures. The external livery has been touched up, redone. I think Clouds is near enough done with that. Interior-wise, we have the new maquette and seating all done. Textures are pretty much done in here, I think, for Clouds' benefit. So I'm quite happy with that. I have just noticed he hasn't got the really exciting AZUMA coat hooks that are useless, but we'll maybe omit those. At the moment, the cabs, you can hear the pass-through sounds in here. The sounds on this at the moment are not correct, okay? They are work in progress. If I go to the exterior and I put power on, you'll hear the loop really badly. It's not this isn't how it sounds at the moment. I just can't show you that just yet. But the cab sounds are pretty nice for what we want at the minute. Again, not perfect, but on their way. On their way. So yeah, it feels good getting off my chest and being able to talk about it a bit more, because we've had a sort of meeting with like a Facebook sort of talk through of what we still are envisaging to do and how that might look when we do it and what are the possibilities of it. And people have now gone back away this week and started doing bits and pieces, so I'm now able to talk about it again properly. So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. It'll be our first sort of upgradey pack, I suppose. I don't really want to call it an enhancement pack because I'm not envisaging this to be as good as AP if they came and did it. This is going to be our first foray into this into this sort of thing. So I'm being reserved. I'm being reserved about it. I'm very impressed with what is already in it, and I hope to be able to show you that off, some of that, or one or two of the new little features off pretty soon actually, which would be really cool. But yeah, I can already tell you. Oh, sorry, physics. I didn't even talk about physics. So it'll be completely re-scripted with new physics as well, which means it will drive a lot better. It already does now, but this is already only adjusting stuff that's already been done before. It's going to be re-scripted on top of this, so it's going to be very, very different to drive. I've got one or two guys that I know drive, one that drives GWR and one that drives for LNER, that are going to take a look at this and have spoken to us about how it should feel. I don't tend to use drivers as marks of what it can do, just because things I've spoken about before within Train Sim. You need someone who knows how Train Sim drives to then make it feel like the train it should be. If you just plonk a train driver out of that's never played Train Sim before and sit them down in front of a Kuju 166, they're going to go, oh my god, it looks like the real thing. Oh my god, geez, that's really nice. That's really good. That looks just, yeah, it feels like the right. Oh yeah. And it's not because they're stupid or they're wrong. It's because they're not used to how Train Sim is. So I tend to use guys that I know that drive them and friends as advisory for, right, when you do that, how long should that, what does that really feel like? Does that braking look right, let alone feel right? So we're going to be tending to do that sort of thing first. And then, of course, it'll go out to a beta team and they can have a fiddle and find things that are broken with it or anything like that. What are we not doing? We are not changing the model. So we are not making a new model. There is, I think Major Wales was doing one. I don't know where that's at the minute. And there's also the AP have the sounds for this, but there's been no word of an enhancement pack or anything, or sound pack. So we're not doing what they are doing. We're just doing our own thing as a learning experiment. And hopefully it'll turn out pretty good. It's kind of the bottom line. It's going to be able to teach our devs some new tricks. And one of the guys we've got in is an incredibly clever man, and he's worked out some really cool things that we can do in the background. So really looking forward to where this is going. Now, this might not happen. We might find that one of the things we think we can get working can't work. We might find that something we use doesn't work with something else we've used. So again, guys, bear with us. This is a pure learning curve, an exciting one. And I'll take you guys, when we've got everything nailed down, I will take you guys along for the journey. So I'll take you guys sort of update by update what we've done and things like that, so you can see it. That's the plan with it. So yeah, that is where the AZUMA update is at the moment. So I would say, if I was to give it a percentage, it's pretty tricky actually. 50. I'd say we're halfway there. How long that's going to take on top, I don't know. I'm hoping not too long. We're incredibly busy. I think route-wise up until June next year. And then there's some other projects on the go that take up a lot of other time as well. So this has been worked on part-time by some of the devs, and some other devs are working on it more full-timey than the others. So it's swings and roundabouts, hopefully. It should have somebody at least working on it pretty much all the time in the next few weeks. It should be the main key to get the ball rolling, really rolling with it. So yeah, that's our aims. Is there anything you would particularly want to see? Let me know in the comments. I'm not saying I can do it, but in there we might not have thought about it. We really might not have thought about it. When I say fully functional TMS, I mean as functional as we can possibly get it. There are certain things in TMS that are just no use to anybody in Train Sim, but we might add little bits in here and there and see how it goes. Speed set's going to be a really big one, and getting a speedo on the screen here as well instead of the ATP. If we can get rid of the ATP speedo, we will, but I can make no promises on that at all at the moment. That would mean editing stuff that I don't think we've got permission to do and things like that. So we'd have to work out what we can do about that particular issue. It's the one thing we all talk about. Like, yeah, right. What we can do with this ATP, and then everybody goes, no, about the sounds. When we have this bit going into the other, and then everybody goes, the sounds, yeah. So we do have to really sit down and get on with it and go, well, what are we going to do about it? But when I know about it, you'll know about it. So I also know that Ben wants to do some upgrades on Leeds lines before it goes out in the merge. I don't know what that entails, or if that will even have time to be done. Ben's incredibly busy at the moment with a couple of other projects, so he's going to have to fit the time in somewhere. Oh, by the way, scenario for this is a modified cactus scenario, available on ATS. It should be a 91. I've just swapped it out for the AZUMA. So the scenario itself isn't available as you see it now. I have swapped out the 91 for the AZUMA. You see how the fading out the brake stuff isn't in or anything. Wakefield Westgate. I mean, I'm already massively impressed with the way it handles now, physics-wise, over what it did. But there's always more that can be done. Always more. And that's a really tricky thing, is drawing the line and going, yeah, that's enough. We're not adding anything else in. We've got to stop now. Being a very new development company and having lots of very keen devs that also want to learn a new skill here and there, that can be tricky. Because, of course, I want to go, yeah, do what you want, lads. Oh, that sounds amazing. Get it in. But then it just adds time on and time on and time on and time on and time on. And then I've paid lots and lots of money for something that I'm not going to make lots and lots of money back on. Lucky if you break even on it if you go too far overboard. So that's where we've got to sort of draw the line and go, actually, it's got to be business. Have to sort of do it that way. There's plenty of people out there that do freeware upgrades and all sorts of things. Good on them. That's great. I wish it could be done in that sense for us. But it can't. So it is what it is, really. Right. And you also have the really obnoxiously loud guard buzzers on these. I don't think it's on it. I think N does the... I think C does the hatch on this or something. It does have one, I think. I don't know. I don't think this version does. Functional power changeover. It's a big one, not necessarily, well, for the AZUMAs as well to a point, but also for the Great Western ones, the IETs. So you will have to go through the proper procedure of switching it over for the new power set and everything like that, and doing it on the fly, blah blah blah. If we can do it that way, we'll get it done. We don't see it as being a massive issue. It works to a point already. The theory of it works to a point already, should we say? It's probably better to say it that way. Been a while since I've done Leeds lines. I forget how much I actually really enjoy it. It's a good, short route. If you want to do it fast, it's quick. If you want to do it slow, you can stop and do it at 158 or whatever. Drive 91s, AZUMAs, HSTs, freight. There's a lot of workings for it, really. We're aware in here is too loud. We are well aware of all the noise faults at the minute. So don't worry about the sounds you're hearing in this. Really, really don't worry about them. We're well aware of where the sound issues are on this. We have picked them out. Just holding 85 quite nicely there. Even doing a pace alert. But I am really buzzing for doing full runs between Leeds and King's Cross. 2 hours, nice run, separate from doing York to King's Cross. I've done that plenty of times, but doing a Leeds King's Cross service is going to be a nice. I've done it once on stream on an older version of the merge, the Leeds lines merge, but it'd be nice to do it in the finished Satsuma. And yes, the horn in the cab is way too quiet. But at least it's a proper two-tone horn now. And like I said, we'll make this to the best of our abilities. Those abilities might not be the best in the industry, don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting perfection. Might strive for perfection, might strive for perfection, but it doesn't mean we'll get there. But it will be the best we could do. We could do at the time, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I mean, we already know that AP's recordings will be a damn sight better than ours. So there's that to start with. And we're not trying to tread on anybody's toes or do anybody any difference. I envisaged this as a stand-in before we got the Major Wales IT AZUMA 800, AT300. And the AP enhancement or sound pack. That's all this was ever meant to be, and it probably will be that, but we're just adding more things than we thought we were going to do now. But what it will mean is when it comes to the next project, the guys that have been working on this will have a lot more experience. They'll have learned a lot with this, practiced a lot with this, know where they went wrong with this, so therefore the next product can be a bit better. And then the product after that can be even better. And then the product after that can be a bit better. Are we going to get straight into Leeds? Are we? Really? Might not get straight into Leeds just yet. No, it looks like we are. Actually, I like the approach into Leeds. I don't really like leaving Leeds. I always find it really slow. But going in just seems different. I haven't done it in ages. It's quite nice, to be fair. Oh, there we go. But we're going to get in. Did that thing again where I looked at that 25 limit, completely acknowledged it in my head, and just didn't slow down with it. Do you guys do that as well? I do that all the time. And that's why I'm not a real train driver. Don't want to get caught out with a TPWS at the end of that platform there. So under 12 mile an hour, I think it is. How does that look for a screeny? That's nice. I'll take that. All right, guys. So thank you very much for bearing with me through that and having a good listen. So again, by all means, put things you'd like to see at the bottom. Questions. Now, questions, remember, I might not be able to answer them. So if I don't reply to your questions because I can't answer it, is probably the best way I can tell you this. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Head over to AlanThomsonSim.com for all your latest and greatest train sim needs. Head over to Twitch on a Sunday and Wednesday from 7 PM for an adult-themed pub-style chat about trains and all sorts of other things that go on in the real world. Best way to keep up with all what's going on with ATS and my streams and Twitch and YouTube and all that jazz. Streams and Twitch and YouTube, you know what I mean. Heading over to the Facebook group, AlanThomsonSim.com. Links in the description below. Once again, guys, thanks ever so much for being with us, and I'll catch you again next time.